Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. If you need any help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where I talk about individual companies, individual sectors, how I'm playing this commodity bull market, and you can see exactly what I'm buying, when I'm buying it, which is very advantageous because I did just look at my returns. So my 5-year annualized compound return is a hair under 50% for 5 years. If you want to know what my returns was, somebody asked me that, and I never really looked into it. It's like 48 point something percent is my 5-year compound annualized return. That's what the average each year has been. Anyway, let's dive in here. Let's take a look. Let's see what's going on with the markets today. So we've got the DXY. We're on support, this big long-term support, white line, this guy here. There's good support right in that general area. That is where we're at. But we've got some pretty good selling pressure, downward move, flag, downward move. And I think we're gonna try to break through this support level to the downside, and we'll see if that support level holds. We haven't broken through it yet, but there's a lot of downside momentum, and we'll see if we can punch through it. We may just trampoline bounce on top of it and turn if they were to raise rates or rates were to go back up. So depends which way rates go. And right now they are falling, which means you're going to see a falling dollar. So the dollar was down 0.35. The 2-year, this still looks incredibly weak to fall. So generally when I see this, I see the big selling pressure or big drops in yields, those big red candlesticks. And there just isn't any response from the buyers. So to me, I'm going to favor this to the downside. And this is just a flag pattern that's going to move to the downside. What does that mean? Generally, when yields fall, the dollar falls. And that is a tailwind to anything that is priced in dollars because the dollar is falling and the commodity prices go up. It will also help precious metals. TNX also looking like it still wants to fall. No downtrend line break. I think further to fall. TYX also falling and looks further to fall. The momentum's definitely to the downside. Almost you could draw a cross saying that maybe this is some sort of like shoulder, head, shoulder deal going. I don't know. But could be something on the lines of that. TYX TNX ratio, it's holding in steady today. It is below this resistance line, and we'll see which way this thing breaks. We're at a very low level. Generally speaking, in this low level, when we go to uninvert, gold, silver, platinum group metals, they go ballistic. That generally could indicate a slowdown in the market as well. Is that coming? I don't know, guys. We're gonna have to wait and see. All I can say is that we're at a very low level, and generally when this goes up, gold goes up with it. When this compresses, when the yield curve inverts, that is when oil and all these other ones go ballistic. Is there a possibility that we get a little bit of both? So in 2000, we uninverted and then reinverted back lower during that time frame. The bull market lasted from about here through about here, somewhere in like this range. This was the commodity bull market. You could see how TYX, TNX worked in that bull market. So we could do something like that. It's possible. TLT bond price is moving higher, 0.53%. It's right there, that little guy. Again, we'll see where this goes. Right now, momentum's to the upside, and it looks like that could continue. But in the short term, could there be a return move where we come back like this? Very well could. But momentum-wise is higher for bond prices moving up. And then the 10-year, we didn't do anything. We're just sitting there. There's no big selling pressure here yet. I said yet. Remember, I said yet. So we're going to watch. Are we going to punch through to the upside where the yield curve inverts further, oil moves up, yields go on up, or do we move lower? That is what we're looking for. We're looking for a determination. Generally, crashes occur somewhere in this region here. This one occurred here. So somewhere in that general location. So if this uninverts comes down, crash could occur in that general location there. Gold's up $13 an ounce, and I think this looks incredibly good. I still think it looks good, and I'd like to see this kind of break through this area that we're in, get through here, and start moving up. Silver up 1%. We're right underneath that resistance line going across. I'd like to see a break here, guys. I really, really want to see a break here. What this would mean is that we've got liquidity coming into the market. And if we get a big move, we could get a big, solid move out of gold and silver in the mining companies perhaps too. And then we'll see maybe after that a rotation into other asset classes. That's what I hope. I hope we get a big, big move, much like this move here, like some big move, wherever it is, in a very short period of time where we can kind of rotate profits around. Platinum working its way up today, up $8. This looks good to continue higher. And then we've got palladium up $40 again. This thing's a short covering here. Shorts are covering. They're running for the hills. This to me looks like a bottoming pattern, and we are going to work our way on up. Looks fantastic right here. This is a falling wedge right into the corner of a big bullish engulfing. Booyah! Let's rip this thing, baby. Let's rip it right on support too. Such a nice looking chart there. XAU to gold ratio, we're up 2.2% today. Are we going to break this downtrend line, guys? If we break this downtrend line, guys, I'm going to be so freaking bullish on the gold and silver mining companies. Oh my goodness. Not that I'm not already. I've already positioned down here. I've positioned at this bottom. Some people say, well, how do you know it's not? Guys, yield curve's inverted. We're just waiting for this to basically uninvert. And if they put liquidity into the mix, this thing's going to move because there's two ways that this can go higher. The uninversion of the yield curve, which means there's a slowdown in the market. But what do they do when they try to slow down a slowdown in the market? When they try to reverse it, they print money. If they print money or do stimulus or anything like that, this is going to rocket. It's going to go like HE double hockey sticks. It's going to move, man. CRB index up today, 0.7, much like oil is up. And I think this is probably going to work its way on up. This is a false breakdown of this falling wedge or a return move of the larger move. And now we're going to get moving. This is going to be commodity heaven, hopefully. The CRB to S&P 500, basically flat. I know S&P was up today, but to me, this looks like one gigantic flag pattern that's ready to hopefully rip to the upside. And this pattern looks very similar to other lead-in patterns that I've seen in other bull markets. GDX ripping hard. People are taking their positions in the gold and silver mining companies. So up 2.7%. Still looks good with all the green candlesticks, small red candlesticks. Higher. GDXJ breaking out of its trend here. This thing looks ready to rip to the upside. Rip. Let's rip this. Come on, baby. Let's go. SILJ looking fantastic. It's breaking its downtrend line and ready to rip to the upside. Looks absolutely fantastic. And we are breaking through that trend line and putting in monster green candlesticks. The green army has arrived. Crude oil, green army showing up here too. Lots of negative sentiment. If you're part of the community, you know we've been nailing this bottom here. We've been finding our good companies, doing what we need to do. And we're moving on up here. So I would add into that strength. This is a double bottom. And we came up, broke out, retest, and we're moving on up. So that looks really good. TTF nat gas, momentum still a downside, but it looks like it's trying to do something here. So we'll see if we can try to put a bottom in. And then Henry Hub, man, this still looks like it could have some downside. And what you generally see is you see downward pressure, upward move, downward pressure, upward move with these small little green candlesticks, downward pressure, upward move. So I still think that we could have downward pressure in natural gas, even though we had an up day today. XOP, yeah, you know me, hitting it hard. I love this pattern. Good bullish engulfing today. Good green army showing up. Not much selling pressure. We've got resistance coming across here. It's probably going to be a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder or something that develops, is my guess. Then we've got the monster head and shoulder. This is the one that we want to play, boys. That is the one. The move, projected move, is up to, I did this on logarithmic, $840. $840 on logarithmic. So yeah, that's going to look very nice when that breaks. OIH up 1.64%, another one that looks pretty good. We're moving on up. Green Army starting to show up on the right-hand side. Let's hope the momentum can continue. If we see crude oil continue to move higher, I think this is going to look really good. We can also do some crayon drawing on here, draw it like this. Maybe this is kind of like a shoulder, a head and a shoulder that's developed. That can get us a little bottoming pattern. Looks real good. We're at the bottom of the channel. So yeah, I think this looks good. We can also throw I don't know if we'll see, kind of a weird looking fall there. That doesn't really work, but it looks good. Physical Uranium Trust, we are still squeezing in this pattern. Are we going to break to the downside, or is this going to be accelerate to the upside, giving us a major move in the physical price of uranium? Now, what am I biased to? I don't know, guys. It doesn't matter what my opinions are, but if I were to take a guess, I kind of think it's going to rip to the upside. That's me. I think we're going higher. That's my guess. Now, we've got a rising wedge, and this generally statistically falls, but with the strength and what we know about the fundamentals and the tightness in the market, sometimes when you have a rising wedge like this, falling is when they fall like this. Rising is when they create a wedge that looks like that. So this is a rising wedge. We are squeezing up. Generally, that's an indication where the buyers equal the sellers and falls to the downside. But I'm not buying it yet. I got to see it break. I got to see it break. URA, yeah, it's selling off a little bit today, down 3.5%. I don't know where to put this resistance support line. It doesn't really fall somewhere in there, so I got to take that off. But we had a big down day today. Okay, so what? Keep riding it. That's the way that I feel. URNM also selling off. We've got support. So we have resistance here, support, 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 support. So I think this is the trend line that we want to be looking at. You could even draw it here. So it's somewhere in this general location, right where it's at. And we haven't broken to the downside of that yet. URNJ is in the same kind of location. Hit here, contacts through here, and it could be somewhere in this general location of where we're at. So we're at support for URNJ. TAN ripping up to the upside. That still looks really good to move on up. We've got the green army showing in that circle there. See all the big green candlesticks and the small red candlesticks. We have a downtrend line break here. So there's your break here. This is your holding here. You've got a higher low than these lows down here. You have a new higher high. So now this is in an uptrend. We are in a new uptrend for TAN, and it looks good. Hopefully you bought the bottom here. That's what I said would be a good entry point. COPX also looking good. The green army in that circle, all the big green candlesticks, small red candlesticks, downtrend break. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go up. Let's go up. Lithium's got the same exact pattern down here. It's basing out. We're going to go higher here. We can even see the lack of selling pressure over here. See these small little red candlesticks and the big green army? We have a bullish engulfing here and here. It all adds up. We're going higher. REMX also, same thing. We're going higher. It looks good for REMX. Broken down trend line, I would be a buyer. SPX continues to move higher. We're starting to get into more resistance, and we'll see if this continues to break to the upside. We're right at that resistance area. And it doesn't mean it has to stop there. We could go up a little bit and then turn if there's weakness in the market. It doesn't have to be right at this level. But right now, it still has good momentum to the upside, and we'll see if we can punch through. Same with NASDAQ. It's good momentum. We'll see if we can punch through. And we've got some, continuation pattern here where we've broken that to the upside. KRE, it's looking good. This is a double bottom, and we've broken to the upside, and we'll see if we can get working. It looks really good to move on higher. Emerging markets, weaker dollar, weaker yields, it's going to go up. Emerging markets are going to continue to work its way on up. It looks fantastic. XHB, going to go higher, higher, higher. This is a Livermore accumulation cylinder. We've got the green army, small red candlesticks, the broken down trend, higher. It's going to rip. And I guess housing starts were released and they were a lot higher. No surprise that the home builders were being accumulated. And everyone's like, well, is this going to be, are we going to have inventory? Is there going to be buyers? Gosh, guys, those guys are their head's so far up their butt, they have no idea what the heck they're doing. They have no idea. So Moo is higher today, up 1.84. I think we're going on up. Looks good. Looks good to continue higher. In the falling wedge, back to support. There's your buy point right there. Copper moving on up. Up 1.36, bullish engulfing. Looks good to go higher. Higher, higher, higher. Iron ore, looking good. Higher. We're going higher in iron ore. Higher, higher, higher. We've got aluminum. Aluminum was down slightly against this resistance line, and I think we'll eventually punch through because the whole market's going on up. There must be liquidity coming into this market, guys. There has to be. Baltic Dry Index down a little bit today. I know this is like a day lag, but I think we're going higher. We're going higher. You can't be going higher in iron ore and all these other ones and be going down in Baltic Dry Index for any sustaining time, is my guess. Newcastle coal it's going sideways, but again, I think this is a good location to be looking to go higher. Bitcoin, a little bit of selling pressure today. It looks like we're just consolidating here. We'll see if we can break to the upside. And Ethereum's doing the same thing, consolidating, and it will probably break to the upside at some point. That's my crayon drawing. So that's what we've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Help me out. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like. Subscribe to the website. There's a lot of good entry points that we've gotten over the past 6 months. Really good entry points here, guys, and we are just ripping. We're ripping to the upside. Lots of companies up 50, 60, 70% in that time frame, in the 3, 4, 5 month time frame even. I know some people were talking on the website. They're happy that they've got their first 500% increase since joining the website in 2022. Congratulations. We've got many multi-hundred of percent gainers over the past year or two, and they're going to accelerate now because that was kind of the slowdown period where we were consolidating. Just wait until we get this big move when we start breaking to the upside in oil and all these other ones. You're going to see an acceleration of those returns. Hopefully you guys get your first 10 baggers. It'd be great that you'll get your first 10 bagger or 20 bagger or 30 bagger, whatever it is, over the next, hopefully, few years. As this stuff breaks, and if we get a slowdown in the short term, if the yield curve uninverts, which it may or may not, again, I don't know the short term. No one does. Hold through it, and the imbalances in the market will bring you higher after it. That's the way that I view it. So things are looking pretty good across the board. And I know some people, I'll talk about it in another clip. I'll bring that up later. So if you guys like the content, obviously don't forget to give me a thumb up. We'll hit you guys next time. This is Finding Value.